Hi there! A while back I shared with you my quite ambitious plans for making a stash busting spring wardrobe. Well, spring has come and gone and now it's summer, and I'm happy to say that I've finally finished all 4 pieces in that collection, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. But before we get started, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and also check out my blog, thelaststitch.com. I update several times a week with all things sewing. But now let's talk about my finished spring wardrobe and, well, that black hole that I also dug myself into while making this. And we'll start with garment number 1, which is, well, that's what I'm wearing right now. It's a blouse from Burdastyle, and this is a pattern that I have done 2 times before. Once as a shirt dress and the second time as a silk blouse. And it's a really versatile pattern. As you can see, it provides quite different styles, and obviously this one, well, it's really different because if you look at the sleeves, well, they are puff sleeves and cuffs, and that wasn't part of the original design, and it wasn't actually part of my plan either. But what happened was that, I'm sure some of you already discovered, if you have made Burdastyle patterns over the years, they have a tendency of being very generous with adding ease in the sleeve. And I will give you one tip though, that is that if you end up with having too much ease in your sleeves, I learned a wonderful tip from Sandra Betzina in a book that she wrote many years ago. So what you can do is that you draw vertical lines, usually one on each side of the sleeve is enough, and then you just cut it open and you move the pattern pieces so that you reduce a small amount of ease on both sides. I mean, don't go overboard. As I said, I think for most projects you will need some ease, especially if the cap is shaped like this. So that's a good suggestion that I highly recommend, and I did that for my second blouse that I will talk about in a minute. I was pretty particular about the detailing for this blouse because I found that I enjoy sewing more if I put a lot of attention to the detail rather than just sort of do a quick make, even though this blouse took me quite a while with all the piping and the gathers and also trying to, you know, just make everything look nice. And my second garment for this project was my first ever Knip Mode pattern. And Knip Mode is a Dutch pattern magazine that I would say is very fashion forward, looks a very European look that I think it's very easy for me to sort of understand. It's quite similar in style to a lot of Swedish fashion. And the magazine is also called Fashion Style in Germany, and I also think I saw it when I was in Spain recently, and it was also called Fashion Style. Don't quote me on that one, but I think it can have different names in different countries, but Knip Mode is the real one. And what can I say about this pattern? Well, it's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. Very simple to make. It's fitted, even though the shape is sort of a bit loose. It's still fitted, you know, it's fitted in the shoulders. It doesn't have like a big bulky volume thing, which I love because I'm quite small around the shoulders and stuff. And compared to the blouse, which took me forever to be honest to finish, this actually didn't take me quite a long time. I mean, the most of the work was actually trying to make all the pattern pieces align. So, you know, I did a lot of work with the pattern matching and stuff like that. I did make a little bit of changes to the pattern. First of all, it has cuffs in the original version. I omitted that and just used straight sleeves like this. And secondly, I also added pockets, you know, because I don't think you can have too many pockets in garments. I'm not a handbag wearing kind of person, so I was always looking for pockets where I can store my cell phone, my wallet, keys, stuff like that. And it's very simple construction. It's just a rectangle that is hidden in the side seam and in the front collar seam. And a little detail also is that the hem is absolutely invisible, and I did this on the machine, and I have a great trick for that in a video that is called How to Make Invisible Hemming on Knits. I'd highly recommend you check that out if you haven't already. It works on all kind of thicker knits. I mean, obviously not lycra knits and stuff like that, but for most other things I say this is a really solid method that provides good results. And here is garment number 3, a blouse. Yes, a long sleeve blouse, and the pattern is again from Burdastyle. It's a different pattern than the one I used before. This was the first time I tried this, and I would say in general Burdastyle's blouse patterns are very similar in the draft, so if one blouse works for you, it will usually mean that all other patterns using the same kind of basic sloper will work, and that's why I do make a lot of Burdastyle, because I know that sizing will fit me quite nice. Of course, I also, as usual, did my petite alterations to make sure that the waist will be in the right place, which is usually my biggest issue when it comes to shirts. It has dots in front, dots in the back, so I'm creating a nice fitted curve in the back. As you can see, it's quite fitted, not like big and bulky, or at least not on me. It has cuffs and just a flat collar, not a collar stand, so it's a bit more casual, I guess you could say, than a proper shirt, but I still think it looks quite, quite dressy, I hope. The fabric is perhaps what I think makes this shirt the most. It's from Liberty, it's called BENGALINE, it is Art Nouveau inspired, which is a period in design I'm absolutely nuts about. So I'm very happy that Liberty over the years have done quite a few prints using this kind of aesthetics. And now let's talk about the fourth garment in my wardrobe, and this one, the one that threw me over the edge, made me want to quit sewing and just call it a day. Oh, you wonder what can be so difficult? Well, it can actually be that difficult to make a pair of trousers, at least if you want the trousers to look good and have, nice finishing, being well fitting, all that kind of stuff. And that's such a massive struggle for me. It drives me insane. And I decided last year that in 2017 I will return to making trousers after 8-year-long hiatus, because I just got so burnt out. And this is actually the second pair I'm actually making, so I will pat myself on the shoulder for that one, because it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. So I put enormous amount of effort into making these cigarette trousers from Burdastyle to fit me as well as I possibly could, and it was a big struggle. I did all kind of alterations, and one big alteration that I tried this time that I didn't do on my last pair is to use the fisheye dot. And I'm not sure if you have heard of this, but the fisheye dot is basically a dot that I think you normally place it just underneath the crotch in the back, and the purpose of this dot is to reduce excess fabric underneath the bum, and you just cut a horizontal slice. You slice it up horizontally, and then you just pull in like you would have done when you fold a piece of fabric, because you can take the excess fabric and fold it, and you mimic that with the fisheye dot. And there are several different ways to do this. There are some excellent blog tutorials out there that I highly recommend to check out if that is something you want to work with. Links will be in the description section, of course, for that. And well, I did, after a lot of struggles, manage to make a muslin that I thought looked pretty good. So I figured, I can do this. I can do this. I can make a pair of well-fitting trousers. But then I forgot that you also have to work with a different kind of fabric than the sort of muslin fabric. And this fabric in particular is super stretchy. It's a lycra woven, and well, it provides all sorts of challenges as well. So, I mean, it didn't look as perfect and flawless when I was actually doing the proper trousers. But now you're curious, did I succeed with the fit? Well, let's take a look and see for yourself. To be honest, I haven't actually have time yet or have the courage to study the fit exactly. So, but from what I can see in my poorly lit hallway mirror, I think the fit looks quite nice. It's not perfect by any means, but I do say that they look quite good in the bum, which is important for me. And the waist sits nicely, and the length is alright. And well, I do have some excess fabric in the bum, but not too much. So I think all in all, that was, well, it was nice. It was a good result. I shouldn't say nice. I did a good job with this one. But the fit is not everything, because making dress trousers is, I would say, super hard. I mean, it really is hard because there's so many variables. The zip fly, and I always do a proper zip fly with a shield. The waistband, I mean, is it even possible to make that even on the inside? I'm not sure I have ever succeeded with it. Well, the pockets, the welt pockets in the back, and you have to make sure that the side pockets doesn't gape. And Well, there are a lot of things that can go wrong when you're making trousers, and a lot of things did go wrong when I was making these trousers, so I basically just had to grit it out and just work until I was done. And I did take some shortcuts in the end, so the finishing, well, it's not top notch to be honest on some of the stuff. Now let's talk about the pattern. It's from Burdastyle. It's a crop look, and now I need your help on how to say this in English. The length is 7-8 or 7/8. And how do you say that in English? Because I can't for my life come to think. It's fractals, some kind of fractals. I don't know that. I know 3/4 I can understand, but 7/8ers. So please tell me in the comment section, how do you say this in proper English? But you know what I mean. The trousers are cropped. They have slanted front pockets, and in the back they have a welt pocket with a flap. And another nice detail is that the hem is actually cuffs. I guess you can fold them up, but they are worn folded down on the model, and I didn't actually notice the cuffs until I started to draft the pattern, and I thought it was a nice detail. And well, they are very fitted. I mean, so you have to, if you're gonna make this pair of trousers, you need to use a really stretchy fabric because the fit is tighter than the regular Burdastyle trousers. So that's a recommendation. If you look inside the pockets, you'll see that I have used the same fabric as I did for the blouse, the Liberty Lawn, and I did that for the last trousers as well. It's a nice little detail. I mean, I like adding those tiny details to my garments when I'm making my own clothes, because that makes them sort of special, and you know, that makes me a little bit happy when I see it. That was all 4 garments and a big sigh of relief. To be honest, right now I feel a bit drained. I'm not sure if I will make more garments right now or if I will take a little bit of a break. I feel tempted to take a break, but I know that the lure of the machines will probably be too loud for me to resist. So even though I say I will just not sew for several weeks now, I will probably end up doing just that, because I'm also now having a holiday soon, so I will have more time. But it was nice sharing all the stuff that happened. I mean, all the struggles. And also, I would say, and I will pat myself on the back for that, is that I did manage to complete all 4 garments. I think the result looks good enough. And that's one of the things that I've noticed in the last few years. I've talked about before, for me it's been a real struggle to become a good sewist. I mean, I've sewn so much that I sometimes feel that I should have been better earlier. But I've noticed that in the last few years, most of my projects actually work out, just both when it comes to construction and when it comes to fit, and you know, picking the right kind of fabrics, because sewing is definitely not easy. I will never ever claim that, because there's so many variables that needs to be right. You need to understand picking the right sort of fabric, you need to be familiar with many different techniques, you need to understand how to fit the pattern properly and understand your body. And well, and you also have to be patient and not just giving up. And all these things, they're tough. I mean, they're really tough. And at least for me, and sometimes that is why I do find sewing is a bit of a struggle. And I mean, obviously sometimes it looks so easy when you've finished everything, and it's not all that easy during. I mean, it's hard. I can't really say any other way. I mean, it's addictive. So I will subject myself to more of these trials and tribulations to come, and I will share those with you, of course. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and also check out my blog, thelaststitch.com. Stitch safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!